think that's all. Yeah. One second. Sorry, sorry. All right. I hope you're up there.
He's on his way back in. Jerry's on his way back in, and we're going to recap the house cleansing that we just recently did for the last 10 days. My name is Ellen, or Tracker E. Here he comes.
Okay. Oh, we had to get some water. Can't really. Let me see if I can see the comments. We're just getting in. If you can hear me, I hope you can. We just got in. Just got in from a place where it was very unexpected of what we was doing, but it turned out to be a cleansing for a friend. And we're just gonna go ahead and talk about the whole thing. Does relate to Bigfoot as far as training and cleansing your houses. You do have to do that. You do have to clean your house. Not just Bigfoots live in your homes. And if I'm speaking a little loud, it's only because I don't know the distance right now, but I hope you can hear me pretty good. But you all have to clean your homes, and we're actually going to clean ours again and do it periodically so that and it's not just the Bigfoots that are predators. There's all different types of predators. All of them can turn translucent. You'll have shadow people, translucent beings, small ones, big ones, serpent, spiders, and different formations of creatures, which are predators that can be translucent. Some of them can be just a shadow-looking being. It doesn't have to have a physical, like a man form, or it could be like a lizard form also, which blends really well. Even the serpents the viper serpents that do that. So, like, even when children trip or people trip, a lot of people don't know that you're tripped over a translucent, predator or a creature that may have been lying there, or that you were coming in too fast and it didn't get out of your way in time, because they will move out of your way to not cause that interference, or to give their safety away or their hiding place. But sometimes the kids will be running or stumbling, and it's only because there's something there that they can't see. But Tracker E and myself, we visited a friend. We didn't know, we was going to be doing a cleansing. Otherwise, we would have took some other objects that we use in those ceremonies. But we used what we had, which was good enough, because we went over it with a fine comb, I guess you would say. Heard that from a friend the other day, that term.
Mhm.
But I'd like Tracker E to kind of set up the what we're talking about as far as uh, knowing a little bit about the home and some of the problems that have came with living with entities or translucent beings. Even Bigfoots will hide in the houses. They don't all have to be 25 foot. They could be 1 foot, a dwarf looking Bigfoot. So there's all different types. But I'd like for her to kind of set it up as far as give a little bit of the history of just what people felt or things that might have happened in that home. And so you'll have an understanding of where we were, and I'll also get a understanding. I mean, as far as I know, there's probably something that was missed as far as telling me one of the stories, because there were quite a few stories about the house and the people there and what has happened. And I know there's more stories, but we only had the time that we had with them. So I'm going to leave this to Tracker E right now to help you understand about the house, and then we'll go into what we did.
Well, the house has a long history of uh, domestic issues from many tenants over the years, not just one set of tenants. So there's spiritual energy there that's been a problem over the years. And then there was not dabbling, there was, as one resident had said, they knew how to open portals and how to summon things, but not how to close them. And so there was some of that going on over a period of years, and it just made the energies worse. So things like an autistic child refusing to go into certain areas of the house, he seemed to be extra sensitive. Well, we know that children in general are extra sensitive to energies around them. And autistic children even more so, their filters seem to be wide open. And there were certain areas that he wouldn't go into that many people, visitors and residents over the years, were uncomfortable going into particular sections, hallways and corners, even the pets, same thing. The homeowner has walked straight into something that she couldn't see, but it felt like a wall. Just many years of those types of things, and I would say unhappiness for people that are characteristically happy people, and that's just one of the ways that negative energies will manifest themselves in causing bickering and division in family members. So the reason that we were going there, though, is the homeowner has been trying for years to remove all the hooks in her to be able to move to other property, but it was just stalled, just drug on for over a decade, the exit process. And she called about 12 days ago and asked if we could come help her because she felt she was on the verge of having a stroke, which she has already had before. And we got there, and that's a setup.
Well, so we're as far as I know, we're going there to help a friend move just a couple of things that they may need put in storage or something. So we thought it'd be a 2-day, thing. We just come down there and help them move whatever they need to move, and we told them just give us a list of whatever you need done, and just kind of leave us be, and we'll get it done for you. So I believe she started making a list, and we told her also, don't worry, we're on our way, we're coming, we're going to help, no problem. Actually, this was actually the perfect time because we were, this is right whenever we had just that little bit of time to, we could do this. We was able to adjust everything. So Um, we got the call and we said, yeah, we'll come and visit. We'll come and help you. And so we show up, we leave on the day we're supposed to be there. Well, everything happened the way it was great. And it was a good trip there. We also got to see a friend who stopped by before we left and talked with him. So Mike, if you hear this. And so he came over and we departed and we pulled up and it was just about nighttime, I believe, wasn't it? So it was starting to get around the evening time and we pull up and the homeowners actually told us that she's running late so we could wait until 8 p.m. to be there, or that's when she would be there. So we actually got, we sat in the car waiting for quite a while. It got dark there, and we're sitting in front of the house, and then Tractor E kind of mentioned, what was the word she said about, I'll tell you about this house,
the history on the house.
or well, anyway, Tractor E said something like, oh, since we're here, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the house.
I forgot to tell you.
Or I forgot. So she said she forgot to tell me one little detail about this house. And so I said, oh no. So
not a problem.
No, I said, let me guess. This is probably the most satanic, the most cult activated.
Nothing bad.
The most witches.
Oh no.
Center of the earth house. And she said, well, as a matter of fact, you're kind of spot on, right? And I was joking, of course, and then we started getting into the history of it, and so that's when we got to talking that well, if moving is one thing, but you also, if you've got these things in your homes, you need to get them out. They feed off you. They'll be in your dreams if they can connect with you. And if they've been in your house for a while, they've connected with you through a dream, some physical sense, your hair on your arms tingle or goosebumps or something. So if they've had time to be with you in your homes, they've connected with you somehow. And you'll have those scary dreams sometimes. You'll feel sluggish in your dreams, weighed down, you can't move, paralyzed, straining to wake up. That's when these energy creatures are feeding, and they're causing these dreams, things to either stimulate you, to get you to release energy, and they do it to your pets, they do it to your children, they do it to you. Anyone that is in that home, they will feed on. So we got to talking that we're going to have to do a cleansing, because it's not only that we want to help the homeowner, but we want to help the new tenants or the new homeowners, because you don't want to leave a home knowing that there are creatures or Bigfoots or dog men or lizard men, moth men, things that are either in the woods or in that home. You don't want to leave that to someone else. You may be moving on, but also remember, if those Bigfoots, if those predators, those energies, if they stay there, they're just waiting for the next tenant. They're just waiting for the next one to feed on. So you're setting other people up. So we said that, we're going to have to cleanse this house. We can't just help move, but we're going to have to cleanse this house. And that was the conversation we was having before the homeowner came. And then we went inside and we
Well, I want to say one thing. The homeowner wasn't the one doing any kind of spells or rituals. It was children doing it and not realizing what doorways that they were opening. The homeowner just didn't know how or needed a little bit extra help. She was praying against these kind of things over the years. The most recent homeowner. Um, I just want to make sure they understand that.
And also, people who's been following the channel, you know that we've been sharing techniques and spirituality, things to look for, um, to trust in your faith, and to know that your faith is there, and you don't break your faith, and the one you got the faith in, they don't break their faith, so you're protected. And knowing that, going into places where, well, other people would call it paranormal activity, but we would just call it translucency, or predators that are like shadow people and things like that are in the homes, that we just know what to look for. And but in like we're saying, in also in the Bigfoot documentary that is on sale now, it also teaches you, as far as trackers and things like that, what to look for when you're out there. Also on Facebook, I forgot to talk about that, but it's the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, in parentheses, Antlers and surrounding areas. Also, Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Son Center Database. You can go to those pages too. We also put these on those pages. If you can't find it on YouTube, it's also better to go there and find it. But I lost track where it was.
Well, so when we got to the house, the homeowner had a list of physical things that she needed doing, but it was clear that there was something beyond the physical going on there. And so we changed it up a little bit. Yes, we got everything out and cleaned it and painted it and helped make repairs, but the spiritual cleansing had to be done too. And the homeowner struggled the most with distraction. And that's one of the ways that spirits will manifest when we try to remove unclean spirits, demons, things like that from a house. Even if they weren't intentionally summoned, you just open doorways, and it's like saying to the insane asylum of the universe, "Come on in. Who wants to talk to us?" And that's very, very dangerous. So that had to be finished along with the cleaning.
Yeah, we walked through the house, and we talked with the homeowner, and we of course joked around, but we also walked through the house, and we was also watching the homeowner was watching the dog that was there. Of course, if you've been keeping up with this channel, also we talked about Bigfoot's feeding on pets, and how the pets will be reacting. They'll be slow, sluggish, not a lot of energy, skittish, real scared, and they have places, because these predators, they've been around your dog so much that dog, it doesn't have any fight against it, and it can tell the homeowner, hey, there's something there. But if the homeowner doesn't see it or something, they may dismiss that. But those are things that we use.
If the dogs will bark and the people will say, "Shut up, be quiet." Dogs don't just bark for fun. They're barking to let you know something is there, or, unless they're excited, but they have a reason for barking.
Yeah, and we went through the homeowner. Went through the home also, and also, if you've been keeping up with the channel, and also in the Bigfoot DVD, we'll talk about this too. But we use our feelings, because your whole body is made of feelings. So if you've got a translucent predator or a shadow being that you can't see, you can still use your body's senses to locate it. From the goose pimples on your arms. If it's behind you, you'll get the shivers on the back of your neck. If it's in front of you, you'll feel, left or right, or you may even feel a sharp pain somewhere. You'll feel wind on your arm, and that wherever you feel that wind or that goose pimple, that predator is on this side or that side of you. You can also feel them in your face, top of your head. If they're above you, you can feel that, or if they're taller than you can feel that. So we was using our senses in the home too, and we went through the home and we said, "Did you feel that? Um, did you?" And to me, some of it felt like spider webs. That I was walking through spider webs, and you could just feel them, but there wasn't any there. And then we got some cold feelings and things like that. But to us, that's when warriors get ready. Those feelings are not for fear. You've been taught that, but those feelings are there to protect you, to help you. So always trust your feelings, as they say.
Temperature too, extreme cold or heat is another way to tell. Headaches, nausea, confusion, disorientation.
Oh no. But it's also whenever you do, you can get a headache. I mean, these things can touch you, your hands, your fingers. You get sharp pain there, your ankles, your legs, somewhere. You'll feel a coldness, and that turns into a pain, or like Tracker was saying, like headaches and things like that. When all this time has been predators trying to feed right there or in that spot. So always scratching those areas. Just imagine something trying to feed on you, maybe with fangs or something. So just like you're scratching to remove, that feeling in that one spot. You'll have that on your thumbs, fingers, your legs. Go ahead and just imagine you're removing something, even if you can't see it, and you'll notice that that area will warm back up. So we that next day, because we got in, it's pretty late. That next day, we got together with the homeowner, and the house was still. You could tell you still needed a lot to be done. If you was moving, and that there was things in almost every room, you could tell there was some upkeep and some things that needed to be done. And we were just, like I said, we were just there or thinking that we were just going to go in and help move. But once we decided that this place needs a spiritual cleansing, we had to refactor our time that we're going to have to be there, because it does take time. This one took 10 days, I believe. That's a long time to but once you start, you have to finish no matter what. You can't leave something undone. Whatever you start, you finish. And also do that in life. Don't, as the frequencies and things like that go, we're all supposed to be able to multitask like crazy, but there's nothing that got done. There's still something here, still something there, still something there. And it's always, I'll do it tomorrow. And the biggest thing and the biggest mistake a warrior will make is to think that he has time, or that they have time, or that she has time. Do things today. Finish whatever you're doing today. Finish one thing, go to the next thing. Finish one thing, go to the next thing. And that will also teach you to also finish everything that you start. So this one took 10 days, and we had a great time with the homeowner also. But we was also, every day we was going top to bottom, cleaning ceilings, cleaning ceiling fans, wiping. I mean, you could go in there with a white glove after we did this. And so we had the homeowner also, they were on another side of the house. It's a pretty good sized house. But at nighttime, they would hear owls, ravens, and ravens would be in the yard. But they had owls that would show up, and they would hear noises from time to time, which we didn't hear any, but they were on the other side. Um, so every day, or the next day, we went up into the attic to do a locate, to do a search, and hopefully you got to see that video. We was up in the attic. That's when we spotted one predator as far as the translucency. Um, and we messed all that area up and poked around up there. And we were doing a scout, so we came back down, and I'll let Tracker Eat kind of tell the rest of that story of a person that had called the police for a similar incident.
Yes, years before, in that same kind of area that we were poking around in, one of the previous tenants had called the police because he was up in the attic and he said he could see 3 beings moving around, and it was down there in that same area in the shadows, under the eaves. So it was just dead on in exactly the same spot, and we had no idea about that story until we were telling the homeowner, and it seemed like it worked that way quite a bit. We would mention something and she would say, "Oh yeah, that reminds me of this or that."
So there was a lot of things going on in this house. So we're up in the attic now, and we actually go into a little room that's got a small, like a hideaway, I guess you would say. And when we crawled into there was symbols, um, dark paint, black paint. This room was darked out. You could tell there was some things going on, and either a ceremony or a seance, or just by the symbols and how the area was, you could just see that this area was used for that. And there was like passageways into the house, up to the attic. And to me, that's too many portals. That's too many open doors. And any open door has to be closed. If you open something, you have to close it, just like a dream. Only go in the dream for what you need and come right back out. Don't stay in any dreams, and don't touch any webs or fog in dreams. But so now we're looking at satanic, or maybe I wouldn't say satanic, but it'd be more like a ritual kind of symbols for conjuring, I guess.
Right, and they may not even mean harm with it, but they don't realize what else is coming through if they don't close it properly. So they may even open it up and do a love spell or something like that, and they don't know that everything else is coming through along with them.
Then we went to the rest of the attic and did a sweep, and then we took some readings with the thermal. Actually, while we're up there starting this, I pulled the thermal out, gonna turn it on, and the thermal, as if you've been keeping up with the channel, also, we make sure our batteries are, we got new batteries. Sometimes we'll use the older ones to draw them in, but then we got new batteries. But our gear is always, thermals are fully charged. We went up there at this first day, the first time we walk in there, just scouting around, and turn the thermal on, and it says no power, or it comes on and goes right back off. The phone that I had, I started doing some video. I only got a little bit of video because that also went down. And
the dark light in that one hallway where the dog always sat, the bulb down there, right there at the bottom of the stairs to go up.
The one that
The
busted.
whole area, yeah. But you couldn't even get it out to fix it like it wanted it dark. That whole area
Oh
to keep
yeah.
you from going.
There was uh, so coming down, that's what she's talking about. There was a hallway there. It kind of like it was a L shaped. So around that corner, it could be really dark. And I'd actually hit that little light, but it came out to where there's no way you could really get that thing out of there unless you just shut everything down, which we had no problem with that too. But all the energy was drained up there that first day, and that video is up here. Some people have seen that. So now we're coming down. We did our evaluation, and that was when the homeowner told us about the beings being up. That someone had called the police before, and that they said that in that insulation there was people, or not people, but things that was hiding and laying in the insulation, and that's exactly the same spot that we hit on. But we knew that there was a lot more going on, and that there was a lot more beings in this area or in this house. So the next day was just all cleaning, top to bottom. Started with the furthest room, and we're going to work our way in. And the way we started with the spiritual cleaning is that we did the ground level first, and then we're going to do the attic, and then we did the outside of the home, the yard and everything. So that those first couple of days, we were just cleaning every room from top to bottom. We helped the homeowner move everything, and we could tell that. And with experience, we knew that the homeowner had a connection, not knowing, but she had a connection. She didn't know it, but she did have a connection. And after she told us about the dreams and things like that, we knew for sure. But we knew that us coming there to cleanse the home, which is to get everything of those creatures out, that they're going to do everything they can, and they can connect with other people and things like that too. So we knew that once we started this, that we're going to have things of the past, voices of the past. We're going to have kind of like weird phone calls, different time phone calls, certain people coming over or trying to come over, just things like that that's going to cause a disturbance or to distract us or to slow us down. And so we knew that through experience that this would happen. And so we started actually writing down things that we knew was going to happen before it happened. And I see that so those days we spent just cleaning every room top to bottom, and observing. Yeah, we made sure we paid attention to everything, and every day we'd walk through and feel with our senses. What spots do we still feel something? What spots feel cleaner?
The dog acting.
And yeah, of course, how the dog acted. So we're looking for all the things that was going to come with this, because we knew that once we started, these dark energies are going to use anything and everyone they can. And of course, if you've been keeping up with the channel, we talk about how they'll use familiarity, they'll use normality, which is they'll make friends and family give you calls or come over. They'll do whatever they can to distract you or to get you away from that cleansing, or to distract you and slow you down. But where we at?
that is one of the ways that the spirits will manifest. They will bring out the worst in some people that are weak and cause them to try to disrupt you intentionally, or they will bring out the best tendencies in some that are trying to help you to the point of distraction. And just depending on whatever that person's individual weakness is, that's what will happen. You have to be on guard for it. And it's so easy just to lose focus, and it's directed energy. You got to stay beginning to end focused on that, and we can visit later and we can talk later and rehash it all later, but stick to this until we get finished. And that's very, very important when you're cleansing a home.
And always remember too that the homeowner has that connection. Either they do, I mean, they, without knowing it. I mean, and once you know it, you know, you need to separate that or sever that with the mind protection technique. And we talked about that here also. But we knew this going in. And so we're also watching the homeowner. And the homeowner is kind of already telling us that this is going to stay, that's going to go. I just need this moved and that moved. But she does know that we're going to spiritually clean the house too. And she's all for that. I mean, she's like a half and half of like, yes, let's do it, but let's do it next week. You know, let's hurry up and slow down. You know, it was kind of like once we started doing something, the homeowner would come in, or it was always something to where it was like we were pulled out, or right whenever we're about to hit like a closet or a stairway or a dark room or something, it's like the homeowner would come in and try, or at least talk to us at that time. Oh, and also whenever we was up in the attic on that first time, and that's when we spotted that translucent being, Tracker E was sticking, you know, poking the insulation, and right whenever it was the right spot, as soon as she poked, like one of the last times, the homeowner pulled the trap door down to the stairs that goes up into the attic and said, "What are y'all doing?" And so we knew that that wasn't the homeowner. That was something communicating, you know, asking us, what are we doing? You know, like, who are you? Why are you here? Why are you in this house? And it didn't want us to be there, or they, because there was multiple entities or translucent predators in this home. But that was one of the first, you know, couple of days that we were there. More things. I guess there was another person that would come over sometimes, and normally we expect people coming over to distract us or slow us down or to do something other than what we're doing. So we worked with the homeowner and their friends, but we still knew that once we get back to the home, or as soon as this conversation is over, that we're going back to work. And it was just like every time they try to slow us down, or anyone try to slow us down, we would listen to them and talk with them and explain that we've got a plan. We're doing things a certain way. I know it's not the way that you plan for us to do a certain job or a room or something, but we need to cleanse this house, and we know how to do that. So we're going to do it our way, but we just kind of did it politely to where we didn't offend anyone. But we knew that we had to get everything out of the house. And the house was almost done. It just needed a little push over that hill, and everything would have been out and everything. But it was just like that, like we were talking about. that holding on. The entity didn't want to let go of the family, didn't want to let go of the homeowner or the dog. So it was using them in the best way they could to slow us down, because they also know, entities know, that we're not there forever. We're visiting. We came there to at the time, just to help move, but um,
And we could feel the energy shift in the homeowner from at first. Everything was felt to her so important, objects and that resistance. But by the end of it, she was like, okay, no, that can go. It just wasn't as important anymore. She started feeling that energy shift too, and by the time we left, she was excited.
yeah, we had we cleansed the whole bottom, top to bottom, every room. And what we did was, so you have to do every room individually, and then you have to use either, since we didn't know we were going there for a cleansing, normally we would have taken spears and like a weapon or something to make sure everybody was safe, um, because some of these things do appear, or we hit them with one of our um, objects that we're using to see if we can hit something. So we always want people protected while we do things like that. But let's see. After we cleaned every room, we stuck towels underneath, the underneath the door frames. We closed those doors up. Nobody went in them. Uh, and then, we took a quick break. We talked about what we're going to do about the attic with the homeowner, so that everybody knew exactly what we was going to do, and we all had to stay together, because someone could go downstairs and someone else would come right back up, and it wouldn't be that person, because they can manipulate minds. Although they knew that we were different, because we were doing everything different than anyone in the past that walked into that house. So after we had our conversation about what we was going to do in the attic, which was to go up and use the puppy to hit on anything that we don't see. We're going to check all the corners, dark spot. We lit up the attic. We took lights, high-powered lights, night vision, thermals, flashlights, headlamps, and we lit up the attic. We were talking loud, making noise, going through things. And this was just to get everything shook up. And we wanted to use the dog to help us see what we didn't see. But the very night before, I'd like to have Tracker E explain that the homeowner had to go to another place, and that we got to dog set. And I'd like for her to kind of explain that night what the dog hit on, I guess you would say.
The dog had been, we've got several spots. When we first got there, she was just cowering and always in a dark corner and just tried to hide in the corner all the time. She wasn't afraid of us. She just didn't want to come out of that corner. But then we put her in a room with a bright light. We left all the light on. The room had been completely cleaned up, and just where we could keep a close eye on her. And she slept so comfortable. It was so sweet because she hadn't been doing that. And the next morning, she had a lot of energy, and you could just see her also increase like the homeowner with her happiness, and just seeming like the weight went off. And then she started avoiding the shadows and wanting to stay in the light. So there was a shift there too.
Oh, I was going to kind of ask you about when the dog was let out to go to the bathroom.
Oh, the barking?
And yeah.
And yeah, she would bark down at the end of the hall, and then she would run to the other door and bark, and just very agitated. And we checked everything out, and then it was like she just wanted to know that somebody was listening to her or paying attention to what she was saying. And that's what we were talking about with the pets. They don't just go do that for nothing. They're telling you something's out there, or something's trying to get in, or something is in, and we have to pay attention to it. After that, she was just staying in the light.
Yeah, it's kind of like even with a home invasion or something like that. If your dog barks, pay attention to him. But Trackery had left the little dog out to in the home, not outside, to use the restroom, get something to eat, because she was watching the puppy, and that whenever the she had let the dog out, it went towards the kitchen area, and that's when everybody heard the dog bark. And there's no reason for the dog to bark, so everybody came out, and everyone noticed that the dog was looking down the opposite hallway, barking, and just was staying. We got a picture down. I don't think we got it up. We will tomorrow though, to catch up on these pictures. We just got in, but so everybody's noticing that this dog is sitting near the kitchen, but looking straight down the hallway. And so everybody grabs weapons, and the dog's watching us because we all go down the hallway. We don't see what the dog is looking at, but we know that the dog barked and is still looking at something. So we automatically start sweeping at the walls, corners, jabbing, everything we can, scraping everything, making, if there's something there, we're going to hit it. That's all we need to know, and then we'll take care of that also. But so we're scraping, swinging like that, and then the poodle, we turn around, and the poodle goes to the other room, or the little dog goes to the other room. So we go into that room, and the dog's looking at the front door, and you'll see it on the video tomorrow. But the dog's looking at the door, and when we come in, the dog turns real fast and looks at the other window too. But now she's standing in the light, and she knows that we're there and that we're coming. So we come into the next room, and we flip on lights, we flip on the outside lights, look at, check everything out. And the poodle's watching us, or the little dog's watching us. When that dog spot and hit, we went to go check it out. We wanted to let that dog know that we hear you. We understand there's something here. As long as you keep showing us, we will check it out. We will make sure that whatever is there will be gone. And so the poodle, after that, it's like everything went away. And so Tracker E had the poodle again, and she had left the light on. The rest, towards daylight, I guess you would say. But the way the poodle laid down on that little pillow, it was like she was she was exhausted. It was like she just just fell on, just like her body just relaxed, like somebody listened to me, and these people right here are protecting me. They're leaving the light on, and that dog slept. I mean, it was if you ever seen somebody who needed sleep and get to where they knew that there was somebody there protecting them while they slept, that's what that dog looked like. And when so the dog slept in. That dog got a lot of rest, and we know that these energy creatures and all different sizes of predators will feed on those pets, even in your home while you're sleeping, while you're in the next room watching TV or distracted. That energy predator will have, just like they did here, have that dog in the back room in the dark, feeding on it. But we went back there. I mean, we checked that dark area. We flipped on lights. We kept that area lit up. We wanted to make sure there was no dark areas that we couldn't see. And if there was something, cause we would go in that area, and people would say, "Oh," or one of our trackers would say, "I got a tingle. I feel something right here." And we say, "Okay, let's go back through it. Let's do it again." And we would do that. We'd use our senses. So anytime one of us felt something, or like we're saying, a tingle or a shiver or goosebumps, we'd say, "Okay, well, the room's not clean. Let's do it again. Let's do it over." And so the poodle, we were out. I was outside that next day, and no, actually, we had to run some errands and get some supplies and come back. And whenever we came back, every time, I mean, that poodle would bark every time it heard the door because it had an alarm. It would say what door you're at, and that poodle would always bark and come to that door. But you could tell that poodle was like not the most enthused kind of bark. But after one night of having Tracker pretty much watch the dog with a lit room to where it slept all night, you could hear that bark. It was a strong bark that next day. And you could see the energy, the tail was wagging. This puppy had some energy that next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we've got the bottom of the house clean. I'm talking top to bottom. We climbed in every cupboard, every drawer. We pulled everything out. We pulled the refrigerator out. Got underneath the sink, cleaned underneath the sink, the bathrooms, head to toe. It was shining. Everything was shining. There was not one spider in that house left.
Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you.
We painted many rooms. It looked like a brand new house, when we got through. And so now we got the bottoms done, and we've got everything tucked underneath the other doors, so that when these entities come out of the attic down the stairway, they're not going to have another room to go into because everything's sealed up. We had tape on some of the rooms, but there was not any place that these entities should stay. And what we would do is we would periodically push them out, squishing with brooms, sticks, machetes, anything that we could use to cause 3 people in one room moving in all directions to push these things out of that room. Then we would seal it up. And then we would open the living room door and do that again and push them out again. And, we would periodically do that. We did that the second time. And after the second time, I believe Tracker E said that she still felt something in one of the rooms. So whenever somebody feels it, we stop. Okay, let's clean it again. Let's do it again. Start over.
And that was the area that the dog was staring at in one of the pictures too.
Yeah, and so that area was a zone for these predators. And also the homeowner, we knew that that with that connection that we would run into some interference, but we just said that we're just going to go around the interference. Let's stick with our plan, and we'll get that done. But so one of the days, the homeowner was supposed to go babysit a child, but I think she told me that, so I wrote down on a piece of paper that something's going to happen to where the homeowner's going to be here to keep us distracted, because if the homeowner was to leave for a whole day, that would give us a whole day to just get everything out. We wouldn't have anybody telling us this has to go there, this has to go there. We would just wrap it up, marked it, boxed it up, and taped it and sent it out. And we would have cleaned that house and probably that whole day, because when you don't have anybody trying to stop you as far as entity. I'm talking energy, not the person, but as far as the energy and the entities trying to use that person to delay you or to slow you down. But every time something like that would happen, we would just say that we've got time, and we're going to do this until we get it finished. So
and you need to expect that. So it's just confirmation you're getting them out.
Yeah.
And when they get stirred up.
And so those are confirmation, because once the homeowner has told us, hey, guess what? I don't have to go babysit. They said they don't need me, so I get to stay here with y'all. And so that card that I written all that down on, I handed it to Tracker E, and she started smiling. And then she showed the homeowner, like, see, we knew this was going to happen, even though you had planned to go babysit. We knew that you was going to be here, because the entity wants you here to keep us in check, basically. Because they couldn't mess with us, and they didn't want to mess with us. They didn't want to expose themselves to us, even though we knew they were there. They didn't want to expose themselves to us, because we would have really had some problems.
But once we explained that to her, she got with it. She was hustling, and she did it.
Yeah, once she realized that we knew this was going to happen, and something was going to happen to make sure she was there, just to be a distraction for us, that she got it. She changed. She goes, all right, let's get this out. Let's do this. Let's do that. And
then the other family members got ill too. That's another way that manifestation can happen. You try to get something out. The ones that no longer lived there, but part of them had done the summoning and the opening of portals, and that's something to be warned against too, to protect against.
Yeah, like Tracker E was explaining, that we knew that these things were going to happen, and we knew that, like we said, voices of the past. There's going to be, like she was saying, the family members were calling. There was people that called that I think the homeowner said she hadn't heard from like 10 years or something, and we said, well, that's a trap. And they're going to use the familiarity and and we was writing all these things down, and we said that if she mentions this later, then it's working on her to slow us down, or to slow her down, or to get her to be distracted from what she's doing, because we only have limited time. So, and we all got it. It came towards me. Tracker E got some old messages. The homeowner got messages. The children were calling, and the children got sick during this time. So normally the mother would be like, well, I need to go take care of the children. Well, I'm saying her children. They are grown adults. So,
grandchild.
And with her grandchild, so they are adults, but you know how it is, the student child. And so, but we knew that, and we're talking to the homeowner. So these people are going to call. They're going to try to pull you away, and if the homeowner did get distracted and go, that she would have brought that sickness back to us and back to the house, and then that would have temporarily made us leave, because we wouldn't want to be sick, and we don't want to be around sick people, and everybody knows that. And so we would have had to leave, and that would have been that, and the house would never have been cleansed. And there was a couple. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say weather too. Even the weather can try to be manipulated by the negative energies to try to put you off course, but you just don't allow it. If this is what you're supposed to do, you just find a way through it. And most of the time, you're going to find that the weather isn't going to storm like everyone warned you that it was going to, and things like that. And it wasn't going to be so hot. The days we knew we were going to work outside, he said, well, it's just going to be breezy. It's going to be nice. We're going to, and everybody else is talking about the heat wave and everything. And it was hot, but it wasn't as hot as it could have been. And there was a great breeze going through. And the storm that was supposed to come and stop us from doing some work did not come. Things like that.
Yeah. The energies, the negative and the bad energies or the entities and things like that, it's also a spiritual battle.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep going with your faith and you keep going forward. These entities know that you're pushing them out, and you be that man. You be that one that makes them fearful. You push them out. Use your ability to push them out. It's not their world, it's our world. So do your due diligence and clean your houses too. But what was it?
Well, we could talk about the outside and the landscape.
So now we went through the house, we switched it again. And so we're going up for like the last time, and we're cleaning the attic top to bottom. That attic, it needed a little bit of cleaning. And we had the homeowner with us, and we said, we all have to stay together. Let's do this together. Make sure everybody's safe. So we all went upstairs. We did the cleaning. We hit all the corners, hit the lights, rattled some cages, mopped everything. That attic was spotless also, and so was everything was repainted up there. We spent some time doing that, full day. And once we got done with that, the homeowner knew that we was going to escort them to the door. We're going to go through the attic and switch it around, and then we're going to push all that downstairs, and then we're going to come downstairs and seal that back up. And then we're going to start at the base of the first level, and we're all going to pick a area. We're going to push it out all directions. And this time, because the homeowner was allergic to cedar, because we're going to use cedar now to also cleanse, because the predators don't like the smell of burning cedar. It's basically smelling like their home is being burned up. So we all swished the brooms, spears, everything that we had, and we pushed everything out again. So we're doing that again, and this time the homeowner goes outside, and we close the door behind her. She takes also the puppy and keeps the puppy as Tracker E and myself go back go back upstairs. But this time we have the cedar with us. We're going to burn the cedar, and as soon as we get up there, luckily we had the cedar. Again, the Bigfoot documentary, we used the cedar film that we put on the DVDs, the covers. So it was just enough. It was just enough for what we had to do. So we started cleansing the attic. And you want to talk about that?
No, that's just.
And so we lit the cedar up, and it's starting to smoke good. So we're going to every part of the attic, every corner of the attic, every opening, every place that was. Also, if you heard the first part of this, we talked about there was doors and other ways of getting up into the attic, and there was makeshift stairways that you could walk up that people made. But we took those stairs off the walls, ripped them down, painted over all the bad, cleansed all that, and at the very top, we drilled down those covers so that people couldn't open that or come back up unless they undrilled it, themselves.
I want to say one thing about that. Set up a little bit like a hamster house, but the purpose of the homeowner that had added on and did that was just to have both escape routes for the children if they needed them, safe rooms, and also just to be cool, like a secret ports and passageways, and but sometimes things can just be used for other purposes, and it just kind of made it where there were lots of shadows, lots of crawl spaces and things like that. And there was a lot of antiques in that house that we forgot to mention in this video that also had brought in a lot of energy that needed to be out too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like we drilled all those covers, we drilled all them down in 2 rooms, and the other one was already secure. But we didn't want any entities having a way to get down or get away from us. Whenever we start pushing them out, we want to know exactly where they're going. So as soon as we run the cedar through all of the attic, and we had to crawl in those spaces to get in there, that we went downstairs and closed the attic door, and then we went around every threshold, every bathroom, every room that was still open, every window. We went around we pulled the cabinets over, we smudged every bit of the cabinets, laundry room, even the microwave. There was this other, like a fire wood stove, pulled that open, smudged all in there too. Under the wood stove, under the little humidifier, the front door, any place and every place that was still there, we smudged with that cedar. And then we left the cedar burning in the middle of the room, and we went outside and locked the door, closed it up, let that cedar just go in there. And we was going to go, and like we were talking with some friends, that we're going to go and get something to eat, because we didn't eat all day. We were doing this, and so that we was going to go and get something to eat. And we were cramping because we didn't eat. And it was sweating up there doing all this, and but we toughed through that. And so now the homeowner's outside with the puppy. We come out, and she asked if it's okay if the puppy stays, and so we said, well, just real quick. But so she puts the puppy in there, and the puppy starts kind of yapping, like don't leave me in this room, or and so she puts the puppy in the vehicle, and we go to someplace to grab some a snack to eat, and we come back, and the puppy's all good with it now. Now it just comes in, waggling. We all get back, and everybody's tired, so everybody just showers up, because now the ceremony's over. We're through with cleansing the house. We did, switched them out again. So we know that they've left, because there's no possible place that they could have been that we weren't in and we weren't recording. And so the dog, now, instead of going to that dark corner, now we found in the homeowner's room sleeping, and also slept in the hallway, the lit hallway, instead of going to that back hall, the dark area where it was when we first got there. Then now the homeowner's been after us this whole time to she wanted the front porch painted, and but we kept telling the homeowner, we have a plan. We're going to do the bottom level first. We're going to do the attic. Then we're going to push them down and push them out. And once that's out, then we can do the outside. But we can't go in and out, because that's keeping the doors open back and forth. And also, any door in your house should be closed. I know we're taught to leave our doors wide open, but close every door in your home, because if there is something in there, you've got it contained. And if not, you know where the sound comes from. You know what an open door sounds like opening. You know what room to go to if you hear a tick or a bump. Uh, and you know that it's isolated. But it also, like we're saying, it keeps them in there, and they're just waiting for you to come back. But um, at least it keeps them in there while you're doing other things, so you don't have them running free, going in and out, hiding behind your back, or feeding on you at those times. So now we're finished with the cleansing. The energy, you can tell the energy is a brand new energy. Everybody's smiling, everybody's sleeping peacefully. Nobody's having bad dreams. Everybody's just, you could tell the energy has changed. And so I'll let Tracker E talk about the yard work and everything that we did, and knocking out blind spots like what we would do here. This is the same way that um, we helped our friend.
Yeah. Just the manual stuff of knocking back the clutter outside too. Clutter is a real attraction. Clutter's dark spots, anywhere that shadows can hide, is an attraction for predators of all kinds, from physical scorpions and snakes and spiders, but also spiritual predators too. They love chaos and disorder. Um, this was just a case of a homeowner being completely overwhelmed and not having enough help around there. Uh, Besides the spiritual heaviness that had been drawn to the place. So I know he was weed eating a ditch that the homeowner said has never been cleaned like that, and it was over his head by far. When he started completely clean that out, we moved rocks and painted shed, painted porch. And the homeowner was busting it too. She was doing this huge machine shed all by herself, organizing, but she was on a roll, and boy, she can
Her energy was changed,
focused, and it was just a beautiful thing to watch. She was busting it, and
she seemed the light at
she
the
sure
end of the
did.
tunnel.
She sure did. And once the inside of the house was done, she was like, this is great. So everybody kept it. That's another thing too. If you each have your individual jobs, then that temptation to talk, yeah. He's better at staying focused than I am, but me and the homeowner don't need to be in the same room together, or we're going to talk about something. So that's the key to that, is you just go to separate rooms there, unless you're in the middle of like when we were smudging, you stay together then. But to get the work done, you do separate places, and we got it all done. And the next day that we had no means to haul everything off. We had hand clippers and
Well, I was gonna say, I just wanted to add a little bit that Tracker Eve, like she was saying, she sanded the front porch, she painted the shed, that she came back, and then she put
stain.
She stained the front porch. I did all the weed eating. We trimmed down the hedges, the big bushy trees that would hide anything that may be lower level. We cleaned all that out so you could see visibly through every tree. We knocked out any blind. We cut all the limbs off so that you could see through there. And let's see, with all those tree limbs and everything, and we worked from pretty much daylight to it was dusk. It was nighttime when we quit. It was actually, because we came in and it just got nighttime as soon as we walked in. So we didn't really get everything finished, as far as there was still some cut grass that needed to be picked up. It wasn't much, it's cut grass that needed to be picked up. And we had there's this huge pile of debris and limbs and stuff that we stacked and put into a trailer. We pulled all that debris up, raked that, mowed that area down. The whole yard looked like it was perfectly manicured, you know, like a professional came through there. And the homeowner also has neighbors, which are landscapers. There's other jobs or buildings just across the street, and so you can tell that they hire people to do jobs somewhere else, landscapers, and so they're watching us all day. You know, they're coming in, and this is the 4th of July. I'm military or ex-military, so um, I was working those days, so I can work this day too. So I'm still working, and so they're watching us, and they come out right before I'd say about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and some of their kids are popping fireworks, but we're not through yet, and we're hitting dust balls, and it's just dust is going everywhere, and it kind of goes over to the neighbors, and they're trying to have their fireworks, and they kind of like, okay, you know, it's getting dark, and these guys are just making noise. You got the lawnmower going. We're the loudest people in the neighborhood. Everybody's getting ready for the 4th of July, and we got lawnmowers, weed eaters going, banging things around, and so we don't get we I mean we pile all of the debris and everything, sticks, limbs, into the trailer, but it's like here's the trailer, it's like above, you know, it's way up there. And so we still got a cedar tree shavings that we shaped down so that you could see, you know, anyone. We shaped it to where that wasn't a blind spot for the homeowners, and so there's still the cedar limbs that we take them and we just put them against the wall, the fence. At nighttime, it's dark. You know, it's hard to see now. Our neighbors are, you know, watching because we're making all this noise all the way on the 4th of July at nighttime. And finally, well, right before nighttime. So as soon as we walk inside and shut everything down, push along, put everything up, clean everything, rake everything, yard is immaculate, one of the best, beautiful looking scenes you could think of. Uh, we go inside, everybody eats, and while everybody's in the home, the fireworks start. I mean, as soon as like the kids were just waiting on those nosy neighbors over there to turn that lawnmower off. As soon as we go in, I mean, there's fireworks shooting,
They were
missiles.
celebrating with us. That's what they were doing.
The whole world was celebrating
That's
the
right.
cleansing of the evil predators.
That's right.
So the whole world. So we push these entities out of the home, and now the fireworks are going. So we was laughing about that all the entities that got pushed out, now they're hearing all these fireworks going off, missiles going off, firecrackers. Kids are throwing firecrackers everywhere. So we thought that was funny for their first night out there. So that next morning we get up, pack our gear up, put everything where it needs to be. We get a mop and a broom. We sweep where we were sleeping. We mop all the way to the door to where the homeowner goes. I got it from there. I got it from there. And so you know we talk with the homeowner and wish them well, and they're happy. The realtor is actually going to be there like 2 hours after we left, and so she's just smiling. You can tell she's a little sad that we're heading out, but at least they know that we'll be back, or that we're there if they need us. And so we're traveling. Oh, actually, we're traveling on our way back, because we still have some things that we got to do. We wanted to do this broadcast also, and then we got things to do tomorrow. Then anyway, um, so I'll have, uh, if it's okay, have Tracker E explain to you while we're on the road what's happening at the house that next morning. That's,
And that's this morning. It's just been a long day.
yeah.
But I said before we forget, thank you for the beautiful furniture that was donated by the homeowner to thank us for helping. And it's just a beautiful new set, and we feel so fancy. And thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
So on our way back.
Also to a subscriber who also got the DVD and everything. We want to thank you also, because that does help us also get to our next thing. And there's some important things that we need to do in these next couple of days, and we're going to get there in April. If you're listening, get a hold of us, or we'll get a hold of you tonight. We need to talk to you also. Okay, so we're going to finish out what happened the next morning.
And also thank you to everyone that's bought a DVD.
Yes.
The next morning, so on our way back, which is this morning, she said that the realtor came by and she asked if the homeowner had already moved, because it looked the way that it did, and she was very, very excited that she was going to have the photographer come back. They wouldn't even have to remeasure the place, because it was such a drastic difference with all the stuff that had been in there. So the whole energy of the place was different. The homeowner said that we worked a miracle, and it was pretty neat. And we had, there's always divine help. And then the other thing that happened is a dog came over now to one of the office doors of the place. A neighbor across the street that had done this homeowner's landscaping years ago, but she no longer could afford to have him. And so when he came to get his dog, they got to talking, and he said that he would come and pick up all that debris that we had no way to dispose of. And she sent us pictures later that they brought a truck and mulched it all up. They hauled every bit of it away, plus some, and came with a chainsaw, because he'd been trimming all the cedars with just the clippers. And so they came back, they're actual landscapers, and well, he's done that in the past too, but these people do it currently, and they finished what we didn't have time to get to or equipment to get to. And so that was really neat, and it's just been a great day and a great mission completed. Every obstacle has either reversed or backfired, and that's just the way it works when you stay correct and you don't get off track and try to say, if somebody does intentionally try to distract or send you harm, you don't always have to respond in kind. Sometimes just don't feed into that energy. And it has a way of working itself out in some of those situations.
Yeah, it was something too, because when we were leaving, and even that night, knowing that we almost completely got, all we had was to pick up the grass that we lined up. All we had to do was stuff that in some bags, and if we had another trailer, we could have loaded all that debris in there, and we'd have been completely done. But the landscaper across the street had noticed, all that work in one day of everything, and then they were watching, because I could hear them talking, but they'd never probably seen that ditch either. And it was over my head, and I had to get down in the ditch, and it took me a couple hours to do that, but it's spotless. Well, the best trim that you could probably see. Cleaned out the water gully ways, and it was something to know that we didn't get that little piece done, that little piece finished, and then the homeowner saying, the people across the street just brought this big old mulcher, and they just took care of that last little bit, and everything's done. And like she was saying, or Tracker was saying, that the realtors called photographers to get new photos to show it off to potential buyers. And the homeowner says the energy has changed. Even the neighbors are happy, and they hadn't even really talked in a while. But this next day, the neighbors are talking, and yesterday they were watching and seeing what was going on, and it was just a good spiritual cleansing of an area. This is not our first time. These things, as other friends know, that you have to take this serious when you do these kind of things, and you have to start and you have to finish it. You can't leave anything unfinished, and you cannot open a door. Do not open any doors. But if something does happen, make sure it is closed. And also in your home, train yourself to close that door behind you. Every door in your home should be closed so you know what's in there if you hear anything. But that also teaches you that when you go through a spiritual door, you close it behind you. Don't leave any doors open to anything that wants to come through and just wait for you to mess up to do it. Now, tomorrow, we're going to have a special kind of broadcast. And I also want to thank a supporter out there who helped us out with this. I don't know. Well, we'll say, we'll say D. D, thank you for your support. You won't be disappointed with what we're doing. And also, anyone who does want to support, there's some things that we're doing. We haven't talked with our other friend yet, but hopefully we can see another friend while we're doing what we have to do tomorrow. But we will bring that live to you also. It'll be a special kind of broadcast. Some things you probably haven't seen before, but it does have to do with my tribe, some of our traditions, and some of the things that we do for our war members or our young warriors. So tune in tomorrow also, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. We may run until 9 p.m. tomorrow, so if you got time, set aside a little time for that. But these spiritual cleansings, these spiritual entities and beings, they are real. You can get them to vacate. You can deter them. Even Bigfoots, you can get them away from your areas. It doesn't help your neighbor, but if you do share information with your neighbor, or I don't have one with me, but if you do, get the Bigfoot DVD. Your answers are in there. Some of the techniques that we use to cleanse the home. We also used in the DVD. So before we close out again tonight, I'd like to ask Tracker E to go over the comments and give us a reading of if someone has commented, so that we address that.
Well, Joe Blow is with us.
Hey, Joe.
From Washington State. Always good to hear from you, Joe.
Joe is actually a
long
time viewer. He listens on his way home. And Joe, I hope you're already in your home, or at least before dark. I know in that AZ weather is probably a different time zone. So always be careful.
Washington State right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I thought he was traveling. Okay.
And then we have Linda Garcia, who's saying hello from Texas. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Linda, from Texas. I'm glad you've tuned in. Always great to hear from people we hadn't heard from in a while, and thank you for viewing.
Ghost Star Dancer waves and says, loves our energy. Thank you.
Ghost Star Dancer?
I love the energy of people who are nice enough to say something sweet like that.
And we have good energy too.
Ghost Star Dancer also says, what's the best way to contact us? Text or email? Yes, there's an email. Is it on the page? If not, we'll put it in the comments. And says, these things attack my dogs and it hurts my heart to watch. Send us a message and we'll respond to you. Tell us about it. And
oh, I was gonna say also, we're still waiting on a few photos and some video if we can get that, and then we're gonna put like a small video together to show you what we did and how we did it. And Ghost Star Dancer, yes, they do feed on dogs. We actually have pictures of them with puppies, either in the forest or on people's front porches. So we do understand. Right now, I would say change your sleeping pattern, and do a cleansing of your home. Also, let that dog sleep in the light. That dog will sleep in the light. It doesn't need darkness to do it. Make sure you clean underneath your bed and places like that, because they wait. And like we were talking about whenever we were cleansing and cleaning the home, we were saying the most possible place that you can't get or that you don't think about, that's where they're going to be. That's where and that's when we pulled those cupboards out, dug way back in there. I mean, we cleaned it top to bottom, but that's where they're going to be. That's where they'll be hiding, in the very last place that you think you can get to or reach. That's where they'll be.
Ghost Star Dancer says, I will do that. Thank you. Good. Let us know how, let us know when it works.
Yeah. Actually, also, if you can, for a night or two, if you have any family with you that might help you, or if you can do this with on your own, but change your sleep patterns to where you watch the puppy. Stay up, do something to where you can kind of let that puppy rest. And you'll see that next day, you'll see how much energy that puppy has. And do it again, and that puppy will gain its energy back. But those creatures will be watching, and they will be waiting for you to slip up to get to that puppy again. So do that cleansing. We're going to get that video up also, and try to put it on YouTube so that people can see what we did and how to cleanse your own home. They are real, these things. They don't have to be 12-footers, 15-footers. They can be the size, silver dollar or something. There are small creatures, all different size, all different shapes, that feed off people and energy. So,
and they will watch to see if you pay attention to your pets when your pets are trying to warn you also.
Yes, and they will also pay attention to you if you're, as we talked about on a few broadcasts before, on how you treat your children and how you treat your pets. And they can also use that against you. But show your pets love. Let them know that you pay attention to them. Those dogs will communicate with you. They will let you know when something's there. And listen to them. Don't shoo them off. Don't tell them to be quiet. They're helping you. They're trying to warn you. So use that.
Don't leave them outside at night.
Or food outside.
Right.
No trash outside. No. Also clean even your eggshells. Orange juice containers, meat containers, or plastic. Anything that comes in the home that has something like that or a scent, wash it out before you put it into your trash. This is a deterrent. If you don't smell like food, they're going to go to your neighbors. If you don't leave food out for them, they're going to go somewhere else. You leave food out for them, they're going to be right there. They'll stay right there with you.
Mhm.
So, okay, tomorrow night, uh, we're going to be doing a live stream also. I would, if you haven't seen some of our um, stickball playing and things like that of the Choctaw people, you can look that up on YouTube. I think an old one is called The Game, called Choctaw Stickball, The Game. I always liked that one. That one was pretty good. And it kind of shows parts of the game and things like that of what we'll be doing tomorrow. And so we will be in the Mississippi area. So I think we have a few people from the Mississippi area who um, we can contact, or you can contact us if you're watching this and if you get this. I'm not sure how long. We may only be there just a day or two, or may come right back. So if you are in that area, get a hold of us. We can stop in, spend a little time with you, and maybe do a little tracking with you and show you some things, or you can show us a couple of things. So, any last words?
Ghost Star Dancer says, yes, they definitely notice when Ghost Star Dancer notices. My dogs communicate very clear and direct with me. That's good that you're paying attention. That's wonderful.
We're happy to hear that. Because they and like we tell people also, those pets, those dogs, they will fight with you. They will fight to the death with you. But let's not put them in that situation. Whenever they give you the information, you back out, or you pay attention to what they're looking at. Let's not put them in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, thank you for listening tonight. A spiritual cleansing happened. We got rid of some negative energies and some spiritual or some translucent beings by shoving them out of their own areas. We went into the dark areas, went to the dark regions to cleanse everything and to bring the light to the people and to show them a different way and show them how that they can clear these things out of their homes and just change the energy back to good. And if maybe we'll have the homeowner come on and someday, or just talk about how they're doing now, because we left with the words of move forward, keep going, don't look back, nothing in the past for you, nothing you can change, keep moving forward, and all your gifts are in front of you.
Yes.
So we'll see you tomorrow night. Is there any other words?
That's it. That's exactly right. Keep moving forward. Have a good evening.
Keep moving forward. We will see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone, and we will upload some of those photos from the cleansing. It does work. You can do this too. Anybody can do it, and we'll show in a video how to do it. There is another video that we already have that does show that also. If you look on the YouTube videos, maybe very close to the first ones, but that was with spears and the same techniques with the seed and everything. So,
I just want to say, I don't know who mentioned to remove negative energy or pray over your items before you bring them into the house. If somebody gives you a gift, no matter how well intentioned, just, it hurts absolutely nothing to intentionally remove any negative energy from that object before you bring it in. That's the easiest way to stop it from coming in.
So the boogeyman is no longer at that home. You can tell by the reactions of the realtor, of the neighbors, of the puppies, of the homeowner. Everyone's excited. Everyone's happy. Everybody's got their energy back. It's a beautiful home. And I would say, I don't know why it didn't sell already today, the way it looked and how much good energy. Because once you walked into that home, you knew this is a good home. It's spiritually clean, and you can feel good when you walk into that home. So we're gonna wish everybody a good night. Joe Blow and everybody, Ghost Star Dancer. And I forgot.
That's everyone.
So everyone have a great night. 7
And
o'clock.
Yeah, Miss Garcia. Linda Garcia.
Linda
also.
Garcia. We will all see y'all tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. I think we'll be in Central Time Zone. I think I'm sure. But 7 o'clock tomorrow night to about 9 o'clock, we're going to run a live stream. You're going to want to watch it. We're going to have a great time with it. You're going to see some amazing players tomorrow of a war game. So everybody come back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time Zone. Have a great night, everybody, and we wish you well.
Bye.